This is the future. Evolution. This is the future.
Today is April 12th, 2023. It is 9:30 a.m. There was a tweet regarding Invictus I was gonna share with you, and I thought, why not just do a video regarding Invictus? I've already recorded this tweet and I was gonna insert it in this channel, so I'm gonna do a backstory regarding Invictus. I create a list on Archewell Team Sussex with all the charities that I grabbed from reading Archewell Impact Report, and on this list the only charity I did not include is Invictus. And then I came across a tweet regarding Invictus and I was gonna share it with you, and I was like, I might as well do a video regarding Invictus. And this tweet will come, I've already edited, I just have to insert it. Invictus Games Foundation. The Invictus Endeavour excitement doesn't stop as applications are now open for 2 more incredible opportunities. Ride for Rehab is a cycling endeavor taking place in Denmark 4 through 13 of June. The Wild West Endeavor is a mountaineer endeavor through Colorado 11 through 19 of June. So very interesting. These are the things that Invictus is doing. So there's always something going on with Invictus for the vets, you know, to keep their mind going, something to look forward to. That's the way that I see it. Okay, I'm not a professional in this, but that's the way I see it. When you have something to look forward to, you know, your mind is busy. You don't have time to focus on feeling sorry for yourself. That's the way I see it. So I'm glad they're doing this for those guys. Okay, so this is Nigeria. Oh my goodness, look at them. Missing lambs. Okay, Nigeria. What is it? Megan, 43%. Those cried with the 43%. Okay, so there's the other ones. That's, where is that? Colorado, or where did they say? Denmark? Either Colorado or Denmark, one of these. Okay, so let's see here. These Invictus Endeavour are open to every member of the international wounded, injured, or sick service personnel community. You can apply by the We Are Invictus platform here. So there's a link. Is there a link? Yeah, I think this is the link. All right, and people could participate. Okay, let's see here. Veteran corners. My goodness, they're really doing a lot for them. If you look on my Archewell Team Sussex, I believe that's where I have it, where I was talking, I did several videos regarding ADA.
This is the future. Evolution.
So that's very interesting. Go check that out. Okay, media employment program for veterans and people with disabilities. Are you currently EI benefits or have been on EI within the last 5 years? Are you interested in digital production? Wow. Are you looking to expand your current media skills? Keep your EI benefits while you gain work experience in creating accessibility media content for the Disability Channel. Very interesting. Speak to your Service Canada caseworker or send us your resume and tell us why you will be interested in joining us to produce video and podcasts from veteran related stories. This is a part-time program, 3 days per week, and start April 18th, 2023. Interested in learning more on how to participate in this program? Contact Stephanie. There's the email address. That's very good. This is for people who live in Canada area. Okay, I assume. Okay, I don't know. Okay, I'm just reading what's there. So maybe anyone who could relocate, I don't know. Okay, this is getting so excited. Very good. Okay, these are wonderful opportunities. Thank you, Invictus. There's this. All right, so this is it, and now I'm going back to my regular tweet recording. And if you want to check that out, go to my app, Team Sussex. Okay, so let's continue. Okay, so let's take a dive into Invictus. So I have a pretty good idea how Invictus came about. So I search it and I Google how did Prince Harry came up with the Invictus game. So this is the response to it. That's from the royal family website. Okay, so the Invictus game story, it began on a trip to the Warriors game in the USA in 2013 when Prince Harry saw how the power of sport could help wounded servicemen and women in their recovery, physically, psychologically, and socially. His mind was made up. Okay, so there's more to it. So that's the basic idea. He came to the US, he saw the Warriors game, and that gave him the idea for Invictus. One of the stories that I'm aware of when Prince Harry was returning from Afghanistan, when the papers disclosed his location in Afghanistan, on his flight back to the UK, there was a story there where he witnessed injured soldiers on the flight back. So I searched for it to verify my recollection, and here it is. Okay, and I decided to include it in this process regarding the Invictus and how all of those ideas shape up to help him come up with the idea of Invictus. Not only the Warriors game, and also what he witnessed coming back from Afghanistan. Okay, so this is the small glimpse of it. He described the visceral images he witnessed for the first time on that plane, a significant moment that changed his life. They included soldiers with missing limbs, people wrapped in plastic, and one soldier in a coma yet clutching tiny bottles of shrapnel removed from their skull. Alright, so there's more to it, but since I was thinking about it and I felt like it's important to include it in part of this video, so let's continue with the video. Let's go back to Invictus website. Now I'm going to the Invictus website to get a better sense about what they stand for and how they help veterans. Okay, so there's this here. This is the first page, the Invictus game story. Most of us will never know the full horror of combat. Many servicemen and women suffer life-changing injuries, visible or otherwise, while serving their country. How do these men and women find the motivation to move on and not be defined by their injuries? On a trip, I didn't read this. I just put the website ready. So if I knew it was there, I will not search it on Google. But hey, might as well read it again. Okay, on a trip to the Warriors game in the USA in 2013, HRH, the Duke of Sussex, saw firsthand how the power of sport can help physically, psychologically, and socially those suffering from injuries and illness. He was inspired by his visit, and the Invictus game was born. Well, then again, when you look at it, the Google search gives you a little bit more details of how it come about, but in the end, it's still the same story. Okay, the word Invictus means unconquer. It embodied the fighting spirit of wounded, injured, and sick service personnel and personified what these tenacious men and women can achieve post-injury. The games harness the power of sport to inspire recovery, support rehabilitation, and generate a wider understanding and respect for those who serve their country. The Invictus game is about much more than just sport. It captures heart, challenges mind, and changes lives. Okay, so I have some videos, I believe during the Netherlands Invictus, Hoda was interviewing Harry. I don't know if I'm gonna get flagged for it. I don't know, but Let's read. I was thinking of stuff, but due to copyright, I don't know if I'll get flagged for it. Okay, so there's a YouTube video they put here regarding Invictus, so you could just go there and watch it. There's no reason for me to share it with you when you could go straight to the Invictus. The title is The Power of the Invictus Game. Okay, search for it and you'll find it. So let's see here. Let's look into our story. Okay, we're gonna go over each one because this video is about Invictus. Okay, is that the same thing? The Invictus game about much more than sport. Okay, so that's that. I just read that. Governance. Okay, let's see here. Patron, the Duke of Sussex. The Duke of Sussex was inspired to bring the Invictus Games to London after visiting the Warriors game in America 2013. The Duke sees the game as an important part of a broader legacy of support through a combination of ongoing care, training, employment opportunities to the well-being of those men and women who have served their country. With this part here, because the thing that I was gonna share with you, the tweet, which I told you at the beginning, I'm gonna put it at the end. It was, it seems like it was an ad for vets who needed work. This, okay? I've already edited that and I'm gonna insert. So let's go back. Okay. Chairman Lord Charles Allen of Kensington CBE. Charles' business career ranges from media to hospitality. He is especially known for his contribution to the television industry, having played a key role in the creation of ITV. Currently, he is chairman of Global Media and Entertainment Group and ISS. He is also advisory chairman at Moelis and Company. Charles was vice chairman of the London 2012 bid company. Oh, very interesting. Non-executive director of the London Organising Committee of the Olympic and Paralympic Games and chairman of the Manchester Commonwealth Game in 2002. In 2002, he was awarded a CBE for his services to sports and community. And in 2012, he was appointed a Knight Bachelor for his services to the 2012 Olympic and Paralympic Games. Very good. So this is the chairman. So he is really involved into disabilities, it seems. Okay. Trustees, Dave Henson, MBE. Okay. So we're reading all this. If you don't want to listen to me with my accent, feel free to check the website out. But this is what this video is all about, because many of you don't have the time to check those charities, so I'm giving you a background. Trustees, Dave Henson, MBE. Dave Henson was a Royal Engineer Search Advisor in the Army. He lost both his legs when he stepped on an IED and helmet in 2011. Wow, sorry about that. Thank God he survived. Dave captained the British Armed Forces team to victory at the London 2014 Invictus Game and won 2 gold medals in the athletic and sitting volleyball. Okay. Debbie Jevin, CBE. Debbie Jevin was formerly Director of Sports for the London 2012 Olympic and Paralympic Games. Debbie is a member of the All England Lawn Tennis Clubs Committee of Management and Championships Committee and board member of Sport England and the Football Association. Edward Lane Fox, LVO. Edward Lane Fox is a former captain in the Household Cavalry who served in Bosnia and Iraq. After leaving the army, he worked at Financial Communication Film, RLM, February, before joining the staff of the Royal Household in 2013 when he was private secretary to HRH, the Duke of Sussex, until July 2018. Wow. Like around... No, because they left in 2020. Okay, Melanie Richard. Melanie is a non-executive director of Morgan Stanley International with almost 40 years corporate finance and capital market experience. Melanie was awarded a CBE for her contribution to business and to the diversity and inclusion agenda in 2019. She is an honorary member of the ICAEW and has been awarded an honorary doctorate of business and administration from Oxford Brookes University. Melanie is chair of the Eve Appeal, a woman cancer charity. Wow. Okay, and also a trustee of the Royal National Theatre. Very interesting. You could see these people, if they were not passionate about those things, they would not be involved, because a lot of this stuff you don't see people who's hungry for money, kind of, okay, this is my perception, will not be involved in this kind of things. My perception, okay, my perception, not everybody. So they must be really into what they're doing. Okay, Paddy Nicol has served in the British Army and more than 125 consecutive years on charity board, including Archewell Foundation, Endeavour Fund, Invictus Games London, Henley Festival, Henley Show, and chair of River and Rowing Museum and Road to Recovery. His current trusteeships also include the Veterans Advisory and Pension Committee, and he is chair of 2 property companies. Very interesting. These are the staff, these are the people who make Invictus work. My humble opinion again, Chief Executive Dominic Reed OBE. Dominic was responsible for the operational delivery of the inaugural Invictus Game in London 2014. A former Army officer and architect, he has worked on major events since being appointed pageant master of the Lord Mayor's Show in 1992. He was executive director of the Oxford and Cambridge boat race, director of the Royal Society's 350th anniversary program, and worked on the Queen's Golden Jubilee. Operations Director Richard Smith, CBE. Richard served in the Army as a brigadier, having deployed to Iraq and Afghanistan. He coordinated the contribution of 1,800 military personnel to the security of the London 2012 Olympic and Paralympic Games, and he assisted in planning the security for the inaugural Invictus Game in London 2014. On leaving the Army in December 2015, he was appointed Director of Operations at the Stamford Endowed School before joining the Invictus Games Foundation full-time in January 2019. Very interesting. Finance Director Carolyn Leadard. Sorry if I pronounce it wrong. Carolyn joined the Invictus Games Foundation team in early 2020 from Bunzee PLC, a chartered accountant with 20 years experience in the finance sector. Carolyn will be leading on the finance strategy for the charity, supported by the development team in her spare time. Carolyn is a trustee for the South Hempstead Junior School Hardship Fund. Commercial and fundraising director Matt Collis. You could see how Invictus being so successful, these are the people who makes it possible, because you could see their background is very solid on important key things they've participate. Joining Invictus Games Foundation from education charity Big Change in March 2021, Matt was initially a commercial banker at RBS. I'm laughing at myself now. Commercial banker. Where I say, if you are not interested in money and there's this one a banker, I'm just sorry. Let's be serious here, okay? Matt was initially a commercial banker at RBS, working through a variety of roles in the institution before joining the nonprofit sector in 2012. He is experienced in developing and managing different commercial and philanthropic partnership approaches, having led a variety of teams for both domestic and international causes, including at charities Cancer Research UK, Young Enterprise, and the World Association of Girl Guides and Girl Scouts. Very interesting. Oh, and there's more. Oh, wow, there's a lot. Let's check all of them out. I'll give them the shout out. Communication Director Sam Newell. Sam was part of a communications team for the inaugural London 2014 Invictus Games. After the game, he joined Step Up to serve the charity that coordinates the Pound I Will campaign for youth social action. He remained a fan of the game and briefly supported the communications team for the Invictus Game Toronto 2017 before joining the Invictus Game Foundation full-time from September 2018. International Development Director David Wiseman. This guy must have a lot on his plate, because you have to deal with all those countries, those players. Okay, David joined the Invictus Game Foundation in 2020 following the transfer of the Endeavour Fund. This is where Harry was having issues with the money they raised when they were leaving the UK, if I'm not mistaken. They wanted the money to go to the charities. Okay, following the transfer of the Endeavour Fund, he served in the British Army as an infantryman with operational tours of both Iraq and Afghanistan, during which he was wounded in action. Oh, sorry to hear that. Shot in the chest. Oh my God. In the chest. Who, one lucky guy to be alive, shot in the chest during a firefight in Helmand Province. This injury ended David's career in the military, but opened a new chapter in which he has dedicated his professional and much of his personal life to supporting other veterans. David was part of the original executive team for the inaugural Invictus Game in 2014. He was the UK team captain for the Invictus Game Orlando 2016 and is proud of winning a total of 14 medals. Wow. Okay, Grant and Programs Director, Michaela Richards. Michaela joined the Royal Navy in 2006 as an engineer. Oh, mistake here. As an engineering technician, weapons engineer. She saw service on HMS Portland and HMS Bulwark, conducting anti-narcotics and anti-piracy operations. In 2011, Michaela was involved in a car accident and was rehabilitated at the Headley Court and Halster Company. She competed in the Invictus Game in London 2014, winning 2 gold and 1 silver medal. This role is part funded by the Armed Forces Covenant Fund Trust. Digital Communication Manager, Paul Saunders. Paul Saunders joins the Invictus Game Foundation shortly before the Invictus Game, The Hague 2020, which took place in April 2022, following a role in digital communication with the Pyeongchang 2018 Winter Games. Paul moved across the Paralympics for the Tokyo 2020 Games, drawn to the power of adaptive sport, before joining the Invictus Game Foundation full-time. Okay, Invictus Endeavour Program Manager, Fiona Crankswick. Fiona joined the Invictus Game Foundation in 2022 to lead on the Invictus Endeavour Grant Program following injuries to her hips and spine while serving in the Royal Air Force. She went on to compete at the Invictus Game Orlando 2016, less than a year after emergency spinal injury. Oh wow. At the games, she took home 1 gold and 3 silvers in swimming, but is now overseeing the delivery of sporting endeavor beyond the games. This role is part funded by the Armed Forces Covenant Fund Trust. Okay, I'm almost done with the people behind Invictus. Okay, Operation Executive Colin David. Did I read that? Yes, I. Okay, I want to make sure I didn't skip that one. Caroline joined the team in October 2021 to support the operation team ahead of the Invictus Game, The Hague 2020. Prior to joining, Caroline studied French and German at the University of Edinburgh, which has proven useful in liaising with participating nation and future hosts. Her role is within the Inspire pillar, working alongside the operations director to help plan and execute the games. Invictus Community Liaison Officer Josh Bogie. Following an IED explosion on his 3rd tour of Afghanistan, Josh lost both his legs and his right arm. Oh my God. Suffering nerves and spinal damage, developing a love for cycling. In his recovery, Josh took part in the Big Battlefield Bike Ride 2013 and went on to compete at the Invictus Game London 2014 and the Invictus Game Orlando 2016, bringing home medals in cycling and rowing. Wow, he really pushed himself. That's good for him. Josh's role at the foundation, funded by the Armed Forces Covenant Fund Trust, is the development international opportunities via the We Are Invictus app for fellow wounded, injured, and sick service personnel, and veterans to access and their recovery. This is very interesting. All of them who work behind, well, no, the one who was the banker, was he part of the, I don't remember what I read, was he in the army? But it seems like, oh, there he is. Okay, Matt Golis joined Invictus Game Foundation from education charity Big Change in March 2021. Matt was initially commercial banker. So I don't think he was in the military, but it seems like the rest were in the military, except him, who was the banker. All right, so these are the people behind Invictus. All right, so let's see what else do we have here. Governance. Our partners. Okay. Am I gonna create another list? Because the Sussexes really team up with a lot of people. Let's see their partners. Invictus. Armed Forces Covenant Fund Trust. Okay. The Armed Forces Covenant Trust. Okay. Covenant Fund Trust has granted funds to IGF to provide and convene opportunities across sporting activities and physical endeavors that support wounded, injured, and sick veterans and their recovery beyond the games. Okay, so there's more to that. I don't want this to be 2 hours, so there's more to it. I will leave the InvictusGameFoundation.org website in the description. You guys could read more if you want, but I'm just reading what's there, okay, because there's more to it. Okay, Ascot Rehab. Ascot Rehab will be focusing on supporting the IGF conversation during Invictus Game The Hague 2020, as well as funding part of IGF. IGF is Invictus Game, okay, Invictus Game Foundation. Okay, as well as funding part of IGF work with the under-resourced smaller nation. Very interesting, because some, let's say like the US, who's pretty much the, who could pretty much support some of the things that they do, their players, their vets, okay, players, vets. But other nations, like for instance, we have Nigeria, who's coming in now, who probably will not have as much resources, probably will need this kind of thing. Let's go into that. Let's read more, and then I'll come up. There's better up there. So there's not that much. Okay, with a strong focus on maximizing independence and quality of life, Ascot Rehab is a leading force in the provision of adult and pediatric rehabilitation service for those diagnosed with neurological and musculoskeletal condition ranging from brain and spinal cord injury to amputation and strokes. So these they're partnering with Invictus. So let's go back. So that was Ascot. Okay, Better Up. This is where Harry worked with. Okay, Better Up is the official mental fitness coaching tool of the Invictus Game Foundation, offering coaching services to our international We Are Invictus community. Very interesting. There's more to it. Okay, Boeing. The partnership with Boeing will provide funding for the foundation to continue to inspire the recovery of international wounded, injured, and sick veterans and service personnel through the power of sport, esport, and adventurous challenges. Okay, there's more to it. We could go on the website. Clifford Chance. Clifford Chance is one of the world's preeminent law firms with significant depth and range of resources across 5 continents. Okay, let's look into that. Wow. Okay, it's not that much, but I want to know what they're about. Okay, the Invictus Game Foundation has announced the appointment of leading international law firm Clifford Chance as legal advisor. Okay, so if there's issues, this is okay. In other words, this is their lawyers. Okay, the partnership will see Clifford Chance provide a suite of innovative legal services to the foundation in a range of areas including commercial, intellectual property, employment and pension, and covenants and risks, among others. The appointment comes at a busy time as the foundation prepare for the next Invictus Game, which will be taking place in The Hague, the Netherlands, from 9-16 May 2020. Okay, this one already taking place already. This is old, they need to update it. The team will be led by litigation partner and head of the Clifford Chance London Sport Practice, Chris Yates. Speaking on the firm appointment, Chris said, quote, "We are tremendously excited to be working in partnership with the Invictus Game Foundation. We have found very quickly that our sports sector capability and our international platform have created synergies, which has allowed us to make an immediate and positive impact. Working with the foundation is a humbling reminder of what can be achieved through the power of the human spirit, and the partnership will allow our staff to bring their skills and enthusiasm to what is a truly international cause." End quote. The cross-practice Clifford Chance team include Jennifer Mabaluto, sorry if I pronounce it wrong, partner TMT, alongside lawyers Lee Smith and Sean Wood, IP, Amy Bird and Alyssa Rockland, employment, David Wolfman and Hannah Collins, TMT, and David Alfred, litigation. Okay, so I'm not gonna finish read that. You could go on their website to check it out, to finish read it, because this is their legal team when it comes to law and things like that. Okay, so let's see here. Fisher House Foundation. Fisher House Foundation continues its support for the Invictus Game, in particular focusing on the work with friends and family. Okay, a little bit curious as well. Let's see what else do they say here. Okay, Fisher House Foundation is an international not-for-profit organization established to improve the quality of life for members of the military, veterans, and their families. The foundation builds comfort homes at military and Virginia Medical Center and gives them to the government. Wow, very interesting. On my PYTE, I think I mentioned it on the video that I already edited. I have some videos that I did when I first come across that Invictus Game, the one that Harry did on Netflix, talking about the injured, the Invictus thing, and it prompted me to make these videos. And it was very quick because it was on top of my head, and there's some stuff I have knowledge of in terms of housing, and there were things I had some question about in terms of housing. When those service members come back from a military and they become injured, their body is not the same anymore. So the way they left the house, okay, when they come back, being either on a wheelchair, they can't, the house no longer the same for them anymore because they need more room. There's a different dimension for their wheelchair when they go in the bathroom. A lot of things needs to be modified, and depend on where they live. If it's in a building, for instance, I live in an apartment. Where I live right now, it's not feasible for handicap because there's no elevator. So apartment like this will not be feasible someone who's injured, who's in a wheelchair, because they won't be able to come up the stairs with several flight of stairs. They need a building with elevator. And even in a private home, many of these need to be modified to get in the front door or something. They need ramps and all of this. So I spoke about this in some of my videos on PYTE. Okay, so I see what this particular foundation is about, or organization I should say. Okay, so I think it was Fisher House. Okay, I think it was this one. That's next. Forces and Mind Trust, FIMT, have granted IGF, Invictus Game Foundation, with funds to explore the long-term impact of sport participation through an examination of the Invictus Game. Okay, curious, let's learn some more. Okay, I may not finish read all, but I just want to have a better understanding. Like I said, feel free to check Invictus Game Foundation website to know more. Okay, whatever I didn't finish. The Invictus Game Foundation is thrilled to have received a grant of $183,000, no, pound, 500, okay, £183,500 from the Forces and Mind Trust, FIMT, to explore the long-term impact of sport participation through an examination of the Invictus Games, and to identify best practices to support the long-term well-being of serving ex-service personnel who are wounded, injured, and sick. Wounded, injured, and sick. The thing that came in mind with this, and I think I spoke about it either on PYTE, okay? I made this comparison with Vietnam War vets, because many of them in the United States, when they came back, they either were alcoholic, they lose their home, a lot of them were homeless and stuff like that. They were not taken care of. So whatever they experienced in the battlefield really affected them when they came back. So this is what came to mind, because I spoke about it a long time ago, probably around the time I did those other videos on PYTE. Also, the cost of living came to mind as well, because once you're injured, if you want to participate in the Invictus game, those equipment are not cheap, so they are very expensive. And if those service members who want to participate in the Invictus can't afford the equipment, how can they practice and to better themselves and to participate in the Invictus game? So that also came to mind when I watched the Rising Phoenix. All this came to mind, and I made the videos, and I'm kind of happy that I did them, because now they come into play as I'm reading some of these things with from the Invictus Foundation website. Okay, so let's get back to the original recording. Okay, the 4-year project entitled Beyond the Finish Line will assess whether the competitors' well-being improves significantly compared to non-competitors and measure the duration of the difference. That takes a lot. Okay, because I'm thinking there's Better Up who's guiding them, right? Because Better Up is part of Invictus to help the vets. And they're gonna need psychological thing, and they need to consistently being worked on meaning either physical or mental or practice, keep their mind off for all of this. So there's a lot that takes into consideration. So how are they comparing it with those who probably not receiving the same kind of care? Are they doing some sort of a study where some are doing certain things and a certain group are not doing the same thing? I'm curious to know about this, because when you're doing studies, you have to create different groups where each group has something different, and then you study them, you analyze it, and see at the end of the study how all of them ended up. That's what came to mind. Okay, so let's continue. Okay, the study will involve approximately 300 participants. Oh, that's my answer. I should have finished with it. Okay, 300 participants split evenly between competitors and non-competitors. That's what I thought. From all participating nations. After completing an initial questionnaire, participants will complete online questionnaires at 6 additional time points. Okay, the study will also assess those nations whose competitors demonstrate the highest well-being and the longest duration of improvement. That takes into a lot. That takes into a lot of consideration. What are they looking at just besides that? Because the way that I look at this here, when you look at the environment, many of these competitors around the world, it's not the same. Some depend on their lifestyle. What I mean by lifestyle, do they have the support at home? Are they being helped or in terms of funding at home? Are they getting this kind of thing? So that takes into a lot of consideration. And I'm looking at, for instance, like third world countries. Possibly, I never been there. Nigeria, certain service members where they live maybe in the countryside and they need wheelchair. Is the place, the ground is paved or something like that to get around? Do they get transportation to? There's a lot. Okay, a lot of things came to mind as I read this, to compare them with someone, let's say, in the United States or in I don't know, Germany or something like that. So there's a lot of things to take into consideration. And also, are they comparing them with people with the same type of injuries? Let's say there's a group that miss a limb, a leg. Okay, it doesn't have to be the same leg, could be one leg or two leg. Are they comparing these? Or someone who probably, let's say there's this person who got shot in the chest or something and mess up the spine. So much to talk about. Okay, these are the things that's popped up in my mind. I'm not a scientist, but this is what came to mind. Because if you're doing studies like that, you have to put people in groups and then compare and contrast. Okay, let's continue. To enable the sharing of best practices with other programs, the focus will solely be the nation's staff, including team leaders. Okay, all right. Coaches, there it is. Psychotherapists and support staff. Okay, there's my these are some of the things that I was questioning. Okay, so they provide this kind of thing. Ray Lack, Chief Executive of Forces and Mind Trust, said, quote, "The purpose of Forces and Mind Trust is to enable all ex-service personnel to have a successful and sustainable transition to civilian life." Yeah, so they don't just let you out there. And I think like in the United States, even those people who don't even were not in the military, they need some psychological evaluation. You see the amount of shooting that's going on? Oh my goodness. Okay, God help us. The Invictus Games Foundation is a wonderful organization that uses sport to inspire recovery for wounded, injured, and sick service personnel, and helps to raise awareness with the British public of the challenges some service personnel have had to overcome. The project will produce a deeper understanding of the needs of this particular cohort and show how events such as the Invictus Game impact upon rehabilitation and the well-being of participants. Dominic Reed, OBE, Chief Executive, Invictus Game Foundation, said, quote, "The support of FIMT will allow important research to be undertaken into the effect that competing in the Invictus Game has on the competitors and their friends and families. Being able to get beyond the overwhelmingly positive but anecdotal feedback and establish a solid data set of enormous value, we owe a debt of gratitude to FIMT for making this possible." Okay, so let's go back. I have one more. So that was this one, ISPS Honda. The International Sports Promotion Society, ISPS, founded by Dr. Haruhisha Honda, is committed to promoting blind and disabled golf worldwide. Very interesting. Let's go into that. I'll read some of it. Okay, so it's not that much. The International Sport Promotion Society, ISPS, funded by Dr. Haruhisha, sorry if I pronounce it wrong, Honda, is committed to promoting blind and disabled golf worldwide and believe in the power of sport to inspire positive change in the communities across the globe. ISPS has supported the Invictus Game from the inaugural games in London in 2014 and is very proud to be an official partner of the Invictus Game Foundation. Okay, so we go back. This is all of, there's more. There is more. I thought that was it. Okay, so let's see here. There's Jaguar and Land Rover. Jaguar Land Rover is proud to have been presenting partner of the Invictus Game since its inception in London 2014. Oh, so they've been there from the beginning. Okay, let's see what they contribute. Okay, Jaguar. Okay, I read up to that. Jaguar Land Rover provided financial backing for the games and a commitment to furthering their legacy of supporting to the armed forces by helping former military personnel transition into civilian careers through jobs opportunities. The huge difference that the games have made to rehabilitation continues to inspire and encourage injured, wounded, and ill servicemen and women. At Jaguar Land Rover, we believe that there are many synergies between the Invictus game and our own brand values. Jaguar Land Rover has recruited over 700 ex-servicemen and women since 2013, creating opportunities to employees globally seeking bright future in the automotive industry. Very interesting. So they hire some of these guys. Okay, Microsoft. Wounded, injured, and sick service personnel and veterans create Invictus Games Anthem for All using assistive technology powered by Microsoft. Okay, let's see here. If it's a lot, I'm not gonna read all. I'm sorry. Okay, so you could go and check that out. Sorry, Microsoft. Super Dry Sport is honored to the sponsoring the Invictus Games Foundation and what will be involving and long-term collaboration relationship. Okay, Super Dry Sport. Okay, I never heard of them until now. Okay, this is short. Sorry, Microsoft. This is much shorter. Super Dry is honored to be sponsoring the Invictus Game Foundation and what will be involving and long-term collaboration relationship, a globally recognized brand known for innovative, technical, and meticulously designed product. Superdry was the official clothing. Oh, okay. I see. Clothing supplier for the Invictus Game Foundation and the UK delegation that competed in the Sydney 2018 Invictus Game. We will also develop a legacy program to support injured servicemen and women looking to maximize their performance and motivate them throughout their journey and reach their full potential with brand values that are aligned with those of the foundation. Superdry Synergy will be central to their commitment to helping the competitors achieve their best and to the principles of the Invictus Game. Okay, we go back. The Royal Society. The Royal Society will hold Transforming Our Future meeting in March 2020. So that's all in collaboration with the Invictus Game Foundation. So there's that. UK Challenge. The UK Challenge will fundraising for the Invictus Game Foundation as part of a 2-year partnership. The next UK Challenge event is due to take place 16 to 19 June 2022 on the Isle of Man. Continue. I think when this was happening, they posted it on Twitter. I might have shared that. Okay, so that was a 2-year partner. Veteran Foundation. Veteran Foundation is a nationwide source of funding to help military charities. Okay, so they're helping as well. All right. Previous partners. We're extremely grateful to all our supporters and partners, some of which have been there from the beginning since the Invictus Game London 2014. See below for some of the organizations who have been part of our journey along the way, some way or another. If you would like to find out more about partnering with foundations, see support. All right, so these are others that were partners with Invictus. Okay, Bat Out of Hell, the musical. Okay, Hit West End musical Bat Out of Hell. The musical developed a wide-ranging partnership to support the foundation. Okay, BGC Charity Day 2019. On Wednesday, 11 September 2019, the Invictus Game Foundation attended BGC Partners Charity Day, joined by their patron, the Duke of Sussex. Okay, Major League Baseball. Okay, the Invictus Game Foundation was an official charity partner of the Mattel and MLB Present London Series 2019. There but not there. Okay, through the sale of commemorative items, the There But Not There campaign raised funds for military charities and organizations across the globe, including the Invictus Game Foundation. Okay, so there's more to it. We could read. So they used to be partners with the Invictus. All right, so let's go back. We did our partners. Let's see if I'll leave information to support the Invictus. Okay, so there's that here. Find out how to support donate in the USA. So I'll leave some information. Okay, you could pause your screen. Let me read it. Okay, find out how to support the Invictus Game Foundation, or keep scrolling below to find out more about what we do. We're seeking organizations and individuals to join the Invictus movement by supporting the work of the foundation. Many individuals or organizations who have wanted to make a difference to the lives of servicemen and women internationally are committed to protecting the future of the foundation and the Invictus Game. Why not join them to demonstrate your commitment to the international military community and to the power of sport? View our current supporters on our partner page. Want to join them? Contact us to find out more. Okay, if you're interested in making donation to the foundation, click here. All right, so there's the address. I'll leave all of this in the description for you guys. Okay, donating in the USA. Let me copy this now while I'm here so I don't come and search. Okay, to donate. Okay, I'm copying this. Okay, to donate in the USA, click here. For American supporters wishing to donate in the most tax-efficient way, you can choose to support our work through the Invictus Game Foundation Fund, a donor-advised fund administered on behalf of the Invictus Game Foundation, CAF, America. Gift made here are 100% tax deductible in the US. Okay, to make donation and get US gift form, email, there's email here. So this will be in the description if you guys are interested. All right, so there's that video again. Check it out on YouTube. I'm not gonna play it. I don't even want to try. Okay, news blog. We are Invictus. Contact. Okay, let's see here. Games, Dusseldorf. Let's see here. These are the games that they did. So since they're gonna do Dusseldorf in 2023 this year, let's check it out. Let's see what they have in store. Okay, and there's a video here. Please go check it out. I'm not gonna play it here. The Duke of Sussex, patron of the Invictus Game Foundation, announced that the 6th game, to be held in September 2023, will be hosted in Düsseldorf, Germany.
This is the future. Evolution. This is the future. Evolution.
Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the Invictus Game Foundation announced in 2020 that the Invictus Game, The Hague and Düsseldorf will both be delayed by a year to accommodate the lockdown guideline. The Invictus Game Düsseldorf will now take place between 9th and 16th September 2023. The Invictus Game Düsseldorf 2023 will bring together over 500 competitors from 20 nations to compete in a series of adaptive sport. Events will be held in and around the arena or sports park over the course of a week, with further detail to be announced. Okay, for more information about Invictus Game Düsseldorf, there's a website. You know what? I'll leave all of this for you guys. Okay, and they asked to follow them on Twitter. So this is the tweet that they put out today, and that prompted me to do this video, because I don't think I came across, where's the tweet? I think it was this one. This is the tweet. Okay, I already edited. I'll insert it somewhere within that video. All right, so what else can I learn? One of the things I forgot to do in my original recording was to talk about the Endeavour Fund. So thankfully, while I was editing the video and the Endeavour Fund came up, and I remember there is a backstory to the Endeavour Fund. So instead of me letting you know what I know, I'm gonna share with you 2 articles. Okay, they are in the description, and you could read about it, the story behind the Endeavour Fund. Okay, so this one, I'm not gonna read any of these, but I'm just sharing with you there's a story behind the Endeavour Fund. Prince Harry moved the Endeavour Fund away from the Cambridge's Foundation. Okay, the link will be in the description. And there's another article from Yahoo. One of Prince Harry's passion projects is no longer royal. Okay, so both of those articles, the links are in the description. You could read it to know more about it, but instead, for the purpose of this video, I'm just gonna read the Endeavour Fund. Okay, so there's a drama behind it, so check those 2 articles to know more about it. All right, so let's see here. Endeavour Fund transferred to the Invictus Game Foundation. Okay, so this one dated June 1st 2020. 1st June 2020, the Invictus Game Foundation is delighted to announce that the Endeavour Fund has been transferred across from the Archewell Foundation and into the work of the Invictus Game Foundation. The Endeavour Fund will continue to support the ambitions of wounded, injured, and sick service personnel and veterans, but will now expand its activities across the international Invictus community. Okay, so when it was part of the Archewell Foundation, I guess it only focused on the Brits, which makes sense, on those service members of the Brits. But now, since it's no longer just within the institution, the firm, so once Harry left, no longer a working royal, so now it become international. So that's what I see from this. Okay, the Endeavour Fund was established by the Duke of Sussex in 2012 when he was patron of the Archewell Foundation. Since the time of its inception, the Endeavour Fund has granted over £3 million across over 100 Endeavour activities that have supported over 6,000 wounded, injured, and sick service personnel and veterans (WIS) to re-engage with sport or adventurous challenge after sustaining injury or falling ill during their time in the military. This includes being responsible for establishing and funding the original Invictus game in 2014. And there's also a story in terms of how the Invictus came about, because it's like a little bit too much drama. I don't want to mention it, but you could search. All right, let's continue with this. Games in 2014, and this transfer now presents an exciting opportunity for both organizations to further their support for international members of the WIS community. Dominic Reed, CEO of the Invictus Game Foundation, said, quote, "The Endeavour Fund has been doing incredible things for many years, and we believe that together both organizations will have a positive and sustained impact on the recovery and rehabilitation journey of many from around the world who have experienced injury or illness during service," end quote. Driven by a desire to make a difference together, the Archewell Foundation is the primary philanthropic and charitable vehicle for the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge and previously the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. The program supports a broad and ambitious spectrum of activities, bringing people, ideas, and resources together to understand issues, explore creative solutions, and be a catalyst for long-term impact. The overall ambition is for the programs to grow and expand within the foundation before successfully becoming their own independent charities or aligning with other charities in similar areas to support and grow other charities in similar sectors. Now that I read a good portion of what Invictus is all about. So we could see how Invictus is expanding. Some of the patron or companies that supporting Invictus. So I could see how it grows from when it was part of when Harry was part of the working member of the royal family, and once he left, how it expand. So this is someone with a lot of ideas. All right, Jason Kunoff, CEO of the Archewell Foundation, said, quote, "The Endeavour Fund has played an important role in ensuring that those injured in service have the opportunity to rediscover their self-belief and fighting spirit through physical challenges over the years. The Archewell Foundation is proud of its role in creating both Endeavour Fund and the Invictus Game, and the impact that both have had on WIS community. We look forward to seeing their continued success together." Okay, David Wiseman, who competed in the Invictus Game London 2014, Orlando 2016, and Toronto 2017, has led the Endeavour Fund from the beginning and will transfer to the Invictus Game Foundation with the program. He said, quote, "The whole world has changed in recent months, but the spirit of Invictus and the Endeavour Fund has always emanated from overcoming adversity and fostering post-traumatic growth. The Endeavour Fund will evolve in its new home and in the new post-COVID environment, but what will not change is our support to recovery, rehabilitation, and growth through the power of sport and adventurous challenge." All right, so this is what the Endeavour Fund is all about. So let's go back to the original recording, and don't forget to check out those two articles to give you a little backstory, the drama of the Endeavour Fund. Okay, so that's it. These were the games. I only read the 2023 because it's about to come. There's different things they're doing, and they posted often on Twitter. Alright, so there's different things here. He looks like Harry here. Do they have videos? 3rd January. There's a lot of things. Okay, so check their website. This is when they were in I think Germany, and then the grandma passed. Okay, so there's a lot. Okay, you guys could check their website if you want to know more. So I went over the basic. Better Up, there's that. Okay, there's this, there's that. Okay, it's a lot. It is a lot. There's like 19 pages. That will take forever. All right, so this is Invictus, and let's check Twitter. Okay, I already did this, and let's go into that thing. See over their page, see what they are showing. Let's go to Invictus. I am Invictus. Okay, tweet. Okay, like for instance, there's this 2 hours ago. They just posted that. Be sure to get in your application for the Ride for Rehab cycling endeavor that is taking place in Denmark 4 to 13 June. I think I read that in that other video. Okay, cycling is an incredible tool for sporting recovery, and many members of the We Are Invictus community have found it helpful. All right, so they're leaving links for people to participate, to click and to sign up. Okay, this is the one that I saw earlier today, and I wanted to share it, which prompted this video. Okay, so there's other things here. Happy World Health Day. They post about that. So they're consistently doing a lot of activities, programs, meetups for whoever's into it to participate. So you're not always wondering what can I do or this and that. Okay, so there's a video, 37 seconds. Everyone from the support staff to the WIS team should be incredibly proud of completing the 154-kilometer hike of the West Highland Way. Here is the moment they finished their journey by laying a wreath at the Commando Memorial to commemorate their fallen friends. All right, so 36 seconds. So there they are. Okay, so there's that. Oops, and there's this. All right, so there's a lot. Okay, so I am done with Invictus, and there's another one. Former Marine at JJ Chalmer RM joined a group of veterans proving nothing is impossible. Okay, this is too long. I don't think I will share it, but that's that. Okay, they consistently doing things. Wow, look at that one. 1 minute and 27 seconds. Invictus push them to do more. Don't just sit there and feel sorry for themselves. That's nice. Okay, so it's almost done. Okay, so there's more. Okay, how many? This is too long. I am done. Okay, so that's it. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. And this is a continuation of Pure YTE and our Pure Team Sussex. But this channel will be focusing only on Archewell's Foundation and their charities that they work with, things like that. And I decided to do Invictus first. So that's it.
This is the future. Evolution. This is the future. This is the future. Evolution. This is the future. Evolution.
you realize once you have access or a voice that people are willing to listen to, with that comes a lot of responsibility.
We're a fantastic team. We know we are, and we hope to, over time, try and have as much impact for all the things that we care about as much as possible.
Evolution. This is the future.
How did it feel being back? Being with her?
Being with her, it was great. It was just so nice to see her. She's on great form. She's always got a great sense of humour with me, and I'm just making sure that she's protected and got the right people around her.
Good evening, everyone. We are so grateful to the Netherlands for welcoming us and for hosting the Invictus Games. For each team, my husband and I both recognize it's been a lot to get here, both physically and emotionally, not least of which for the Ukraine team, whom we are all standing with. Oksana team, we talked about it yesterday. Slava Ukraini. One thing I know for sure is that every single moment it has taken to get here will be worth it. Because it is here at the Invictus Games that we honor your years of active duty on the field and your continued service to your country, to your family, and your community off the field. Thank you so much for your service, and thank you to all the family and the friends that are here who have been supporting you along the way. Because this is service, this is dedication, and this is the Invictus family. Now, it is my distinguished honor to introduce someone that I think you'll all be very excited to hear from. He has also spent many late nights and early mornings He has also spent many late nights and early mornings planning for these games to make them as perfect as possible for each of you. I could not love and respect him more, and I know that all of you feel the same, because he is your fellow veteran, having served 2 tours of duty in Afghanistan and 10 years of military service. He's the founder of the Invictus Games and the father to our 2 little ones, Archie and Lily. Please welcome my incredible husband, Prince Harry of the Duke of Sussex.